Good afternoon everybody, and we're back with another video. This one is in Black Desert Online, and I'm trying to make a couple of videos here to just kind of do little tutorials for things in the game, assuming that you know absolutely nothing about the game. So today we're going to capture some horses. We're going to go through taming horses and what we need to do to capture a horse. Now the first thing you're going to need to do is go to your nearest stable keeper, and if you don't know where they are, you can click on the little magnifying glass up here in the top right hand corner, click on stable, and that'll actually put a path on your minimap to your nearest stable master. So you can either walk to that, or you can hit the T button and that will automatically walk you there. And then what you want to do from here, you want to talk to him, open up his shop, and you want to purchase the capturing rope here. So I've already got 25 of these because I've come prepared today, but you're going to want to buy a couple of those. You need at least one rope for every horse that you're trying to catch, but I would definitely recommend bring a couple extra because it's likely that you're going to stuff the first one up a couple of times. So then we're going to move down here into the inn here. I'm going to talk to this innkeeper here. Anyone that sells any sort of cooking ingredients is going to work, but you want to go into the shop and you want to purchase raw sugar. So be sure you don't purchase the sugar, you definitely want the raw sugar, there is a difference. We're going to buy multiple and we're going to need at least 10 of these. So we need 10 of them for the recipe, and then we need 1 mineral water. And then if you're wanting to make more than 1 lump of raw sugar, which is what we're doing here, then you're going to obviously need to multiply those numbers. So if you wanted to make 10 lumps of sugar, then you get 100 raw sugar and 10 mineral water. But how do I make lumps of raw sugar, you ask? Easy. Hit the L button, click on this little flame icon here for heating, click on your sugar and your water, and then click on start. Then literally just watch yourself burn that over a furnace, and next thing you know, you've got a lump of raw sugar. And it's as easy as that. So we've got lumps of raw sugar. Now again, I've got 254, I've come prepared. These you're going to definitely need probably about 10 to 20 if you're wanting to catch one horse, if you're wanting to just like kind of have a dabble at it. Bring those down onto your bars and then we're ready to go catch a horse. Here's one that I prepared earlier. Out here in the wild, when we're hunting horses, you must become one with the horse. You must feel the horse. There it is. A magnificent beast. A marvelous, beautiful black stallion. Up there, a crest, a mountain top. Now what we want to do, we want to get as close as we can without spooking the horse. If you get too close, it will get scared and run away. We want to get as close as we can, hit our 1 key to activate our lasso, and then when we get close enough, our cursor is going to go red. We're going to hit our left mouse button and then hit space when the bar goes up into the red area. Then we're going to hold W to walk towards the horse until he puts his legs up. When they put their legs up in the air like that, then you have to spam your spacebar, and you're gonna smash that spacebar. You're gonna hit that spacebar like you're hitting the like or subscribe button of one of my videos. You're gonna fucking smash that shit. Make sure you do it for the full 10 seconds too, because the bar goes down pretty quickly, and if the bar falls underneath that little yellow line in the middle, then you're gonna lose the horse. So you're gonna make sure you wait until the game is completely over, and then start walking towards the horse again. But once you do get close enough and this little circle pops up, then you can start giving the horse sugar. So you're going to hit your number 2 button to start feeding him sugar. And once you think that you've given him enough sugar, you can try to mount him. Now, it's either going to go well or he's going to kick you in the face like that. If he kicks you in the face, it means that you haven't given him enough sugar. So we're going to have to start the whole process all over again, activate your rope, throw it at the horse, and then do the whole mini game all over again. Now I got pretty lucky here and he chose not to rear up at me this time because he's a smart horse and doesn't want to make a trip to the glue factory, but I managed to get to him without him rearing up and give him some more sugar here. So unfortunately there's no real way of knowing if you've given them enough sugar, you just kind of hope for the best. I tend to work on a system of giving them 4 sugar for every time that they rear up during the minigame, but again, I don't know if that's just me being superstitious or if that's actually working, but that's what I tend to go with and it's worked pretty well for me so far. So again, once you've given him enough sugar, then you can jump on his back, and this is what it'll look like once you've tamed your very first horse. And what a marvellous steed she is. And then all there is left to do is head down to your nearest stable keep. So there's one just at the bottom of this mountain here. And I would recommend go to your closest one because your horse will not sprint. They will not sprint once you've freshly captured them, so go to one that's nice and close by. Once you get there, just jump off your horse, talk to the stable keeper, and then you're going to click on the stable button and then register wild horse. From here you get to give them a reasonable, suitable name, and just by looking at the stats here you can already tell that this is probably going to be a pretty high tier horse. And there you have it, a tier 4 female horse. This is a really good get. Getting a female horse means that I can now breed it with some of my male horses as well. That's a completely different video that I might get into later if there's enough demand for it. But that's a really good get. The female horses are pretty hard to come by, and when you get one, it's like getting your weight in gold. So now let's take her for a ride. Take our freshly captured horse out for a ride through the countryside. What a magnificent beast. Now I hear you asking though, Professor Butts, this is great, you've shown me how to capture, I have the mechanical knowledge, but where do I find a horse? Well, you're in luck, because today I'm about to show you a couple of locations. So I've got a couple of clips here for different spots where you can find horses in the first kind of starting areas of the game. I'll also put a link in the description for a very comprehensive guide, goes over pretty much everywhere in the game that you can find horses. I'm only going to show the first couple here because this is just tends to be where I look. There isn't really any inherent advantage to going to higher level areas or anything. You can get pretty high level horses in the low level areas as well. So I'd recommend just have a look through these spots here. One piece of advice that I will definitely give, make sure that you jump on the least populated server that you can when you're hunting horses. So you're looking for the server that has the least amount of people on it, because the less people there are, the less people there are looking for horses. So if you go into an overcrowded or overrun server, then chances are everyone's already stolen your horses. So definitely one to take on board. So those first few areas there were just outside of Hydale. This one's going a little bit further out. So once you've made the trip out here, you haven't seen any horses, or maybe you're just trying to do a big trip, then you'd come out here. And this one's a little bit harder to get to because it's up on the side of a mountain, but I tend to like these spots a little bit more. The spots that are a bit harder to get to tend to be less hunted, for lack of a better word. Just about every time that I come into these sorts of locations, there's a horse there waiting for me. And I attribute that to the fact that it's a little bit harder to get to. People want the convenience, and that makes these spots really good if you're just wanting to capture a horse. Just across the road here, we've got another spot. So you go down over the bridge and just into this little node over here. And there's the location there from Hydale, and you're going to find yourself just outside a little tent here. And up in the corner, if we're lucky, there's going to be a horse. So this is a much smaller little area here, and there she is. There's a beautiful little horse just waiting to be captured. Yeah, a much smaller area, this one here. And then just outside of Velia, we've got a farm here as well, a nice big open plain, which is just down the road from where we just were. And then that mountain range over there is where you saw me catch the horse at the beginning of the video. So just outside of Velia, just up the road from Hydale, and it's a nice wide open plain here, and there's a horse just waiting to be captured again. Now another handy tip, be careful when you've activated your lasso, because it will lock onto enemies. So if you're in an area that has enemies floating around, like this place here, we've got weasels and grass beetles and that kind of stuff floating around. If you've got your lasso out, you can accidentally think that you've locked onto the horse when you've actually locked onto the enemy. So they do kind of float around in the grass, and they can be a little bit hard to see sometimes, so it can be a little bit of a troll when you think that you've locked onto the horse, but you've actually locked onto a beetle. Because then you can kiss your rope goodbye. One more little bonus tip for you here as well. When you're riding a horse, this little yellow bar down the bottom is your stamina for the horse. And you're going to see that go down, and then when you level up, it'll go back up to full. But if you need to fill it back up, then you can feed your horse carrots. So you can buy these from any stable master, and you can buy them in bulk. You can either press F8 and right click on the carrot, or a much easier way is to drag it down onto your bar, and then while you're riding the horse, simply press 3 and it will feed the carrot to your horse. Much easier than having to get off your mount every time. Well, I hope that was helpful for you guys, and I'm planning on making a couple more videos in BDO to just kind of go over, some of these basic skills. It seems like there's a bit of a gap in the market. A lot of the tutorial videos on YouTube at the moment kind of assume that you know a lot about the game. Even for some of these basic level things, they're still kind of assuming that you have some sort of intricate knowledge of the game. So I'm hoping to make some more of these sorts of videos where they're really basic and just go over everything step by step and kind of help you on your road to becoming a BDO master. So keep an eye on this space for more BDO videos, and if there's anything specifically that you'd like me to try and cover, then feel free to let me know in the comments, and best of luck.